Are Uber and Lyft riders doing this to drivers? And if they are, what can drivers do about it? That's what we're going to be talking about right now. Hey everyone, Chris here from Real Rideshare Stories. If you're new to the channel and you're looking for different things within the rideshare industry, whether it's updates to what's going on, news, tips and tricks for passengers and drivers, or what actually happens on real rideshare rides, start now by hitting that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Also make sure to check the description below for other helpful information and tips. So the other day I was going through my comments and came across one that I found to be pretty disturbing. And I wanted to make sure that I got this information out to you in case something like this happens to you, and a couple of steps and ideas that you can use in order to help prevent something like this from happening so you don't get in trouble or have any issues. And essentially, this is where riders are trying to extort drivers and get cash out of drivers to give them good ratings. And this is really messed up. So as you can see on the screen right now, this is the disturbing comment that I saw. And it says, this has happened to me 3 times now. Friends of the person who has the app scam the driver like this. Give me 25 bucks or I will complain to Uber and tell them you are a racist. Or maybe something else as well too. These dreaded riders have no name and the subscriber has a bogus pen name showing. I have yet to resolve the situations with Uber since they believe the customer rather than the driver. I have received Uber's canned responses and a final notification of deactivation if they hear one more time I am a racist who discriminates against the community guidelines. I am at a loss. It's extortion. I cannot actively record the events in my local help. So yes, this is a very disturbing comment that I got from somebody, and very unfortunate thing that is going on, because yes, this is extortion and they are trying to get money by saying if you don't give us money, then you are going to get a false report against you or a poor review. And this is a major problem when it comes down to it. Now, have you experienced anything similar or exactly like this? Comment below. And also, how did you handle that situation? What did you do? Comment below and let me know with that. So now let's break down this comment a little bit, because there's a few different things in here that is going to be beneficial for other drivers if this happens to you, or if this can help out this particular driver as well. So let's start with the last part first, and this is talking about recording. And there are some areas that you have to have a 2-party consent. There's also some areas that are 1-party consent. So there's going to be differing laws when it comes down to it. If you live in a particular 2-party consent area or something that limits your recording capabilities, I would highly suggest talking to either a lawyer or somebody who's well-versed in recording in that particular area, because there could be some things that you can do in order to be able to record without any problems. Something as simple as putting up a sticker that says audio video is in progress, consent given when entering vehicle. So something like that can pose as giving consent. There are a few different things, but in order to be in compliance with the law, then you want to make sure that you follow those rules. And so you want to talk to a lawyer or somebody who's well-versed in recording law. And overall, this is just another reason why you want to have a dash camera that's recording every single ride. And if you ever need that footage, this is exactly something you might need that footage for. So now let's go back and break down the beginning of that comment where it says, friends of the person who has the app scam the driver like this. And it says these dreaded riders have no name and the subscriber has a bogus pen name showing. So this shows the problem that many drivers have faced over the several years that Uber and Lyft have been around. And this is fake names and also third-party rides. So it could be both, it could be all one in the same, but either way, this is a problem that has been exploited because it is not allowing that account holder to be accountable if something like this ever happened. And we all know third-party rides are a problem because the account holder is supposed to be in the car during the entire duration of the trip, and the accountability is not really there because you don't necessarily know who that person that's actually riding in your car is. And we all know that when you get to a ride and they say, oh, my boyfriend ordered the trip for me because I'm going over to his place, or my girlfriend ordered a ride so I can get to work, or whatever it might be. So you can see that third-party rides happen all the time, even though they're not really supposed to. And going on to the last part of the comment, which is the worst part, and that's the extortion part, and that is saying, give me money or I will create a false report to Uber or Lyft or give you a low rating. And that is the biggest issue right there. So again, like I said, if you've had anything like this similarly happen to you, comment below, let me know. And how did you handle it to help other drivers who may be watching this video as well? Now, what I would do in this particular circumstance or a situation similar to it, first off, I live in a one-party consent state, so my dash camera is always on a recording whenever I'm driving. And if you are in a two-party state, like I said, make sure you talk to a lawyer or somebody well-versed in recording law so you can do what you need to do to be in compliance with recording, and then you will be able to have a dash camera or audio recording device in the vehicle, so if you need it, you have it, and you're within the law. So that is the first thing I would do. Make sure you have your dash camera or something that is able to record that particular interaction. Then what I would do is right after this ride ends, or if it's canceled on before it begins, I would contact Uber or Lyft immediately, make sure they know what's going on. If the ride happened, I would put it in the rating itself. So in the comment section, after you provide the feedback, I would put it right there. Then I would also make a report to Uber or Lyft via the app. And then after making that report, I would also call up customer service and make a report that way. I would do the electronic part first because it's going to be instant and time-stamped. And then with the phone call, it could take a little bit of time to get in touch with somebody. So I want to make sure that the electronic part is done first and the timestamp is done there. So it's going to be your word versus them. And because you got it in first, you probably have a better chance. And then also being able to submit that recording to Uber or Lyft is going to be your next step after you talk to somebody, making sure that they're able to take that. So you want to make sure you have that because again, you want everything documented and cover your own self. And then also lastly, if you wanted to press charges or talk to somebody about that, you may be able to go to a law enforcement agency and see what your steps are there when it comes down to it. Now, unfortunately, if somebody's doing this, it's probably going to be a third-party ride or a fake account name. So unfortunately, it's going to probably be very hard to find that particular person because they are not providing the proper information that they need to. So just know that it could be difficult. But again, you know where the drop-off or pickup points are, so that may be able to help you a little bit in trying to find that particular person. But chances are it's going to be very tough if you decided to go that route as well. And another thing that you could possibly do as well is tell them that you never want to be paired with that particular person again because of what had happened, and they will put it into the system. So this is when you're talking to Uber or Lyft, you're going to have to tell Uber that you want that to happen. And with Lyft, you could just put in a 3 or lower star rating and you won't be paired with them. But I would just back it up again by saying I never want to be paired with that particular passenger. Now, the only problem with that is if they are using a third-party ride or a fake name on the account or a fake account altogether, then chances are you could potentially get them again because they will just make another fake account. So you just want to make sure that you take mental pictures of the people who had pulled that stuff. And if you see them getting or walking to your car for another ride, then cancel on that ride immediately. Go down the street and then write to Uber or Lyft. Let them know exactly what happened, why you canceled. Tell them that this is the exact same people from before, and so that documentation is again there. Now, this right here is another example and reason why they need to have verifications for passengers and riders who create accounts for both Uber and Lyft. Because they don't have that verification process, you can make that fake account at any point. And this is just another reason why they need to stop that and have verification. So accountability is a key factor. Now again, have you ever experienced or heard something similar to this? Comment below, let me know. Also, what would you do in that particular situation if something like this were to happen? With that being said, that's the end of this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded. Also, make sure to check the description below for other helpful information and tips. And as always, never drink and drive. Always tip your drivers, your delivery drivers, and your shoppers. And we'll see you next time.